What's up, everybody? This is episode 24. Talking Crazy. It's your boy Tamal, like Jamal, but with a T. Got my legendary co-host, A-Plus, Souls of Mischief, Hieroglyphics, Oakland, California. And this is our monthly show on mental health related topics. We've been doing this for a couple years now, and it's a very important show for us. And we're excited to keep doing it. So why don't you tell everybody, family, what the show is not?
What the show is not is we are not doctors. We don't claim to be the authority on any of these topics. We're just a couple of brothers sharing our experiences on the topic of mental health because we feel that it's an important topic. We're not trying to tell anyone what to do, diagnose anyone. We're here sharing our experiences. We're hoping to, hopefully something that we share may help someone, and we're also here to learn and to get clarity on these issues ourselves. So we're certainly not Dr. Plus or Dr. Tamal.
Dr. Blood. So and yeah, and if we have some specific training or something or history or background, something we'll be make sure we share that so we're not just seem like we're just talking out of our asses. And again, we're here to learn. It's just kind of just came about by accident, two friends just talking, and so it's been a fun ride, and we're excited about it. Got a little say surprise for you guys at the end of the show. We're going to share a little announcement, so stick around for that. And yeah, we're going to jump into it, man. I'm as well real quick as we always say. Take what you want and leave the rest. That's very important. So
Yes.
You can take all of it or none of it, but hopefully there's something that comes out of this that's of value. So good topic that you picked this time. Circle of friends. The importance of developing or having a solid, healthy support system. So I thought this was great. I've talked about this a lot. So let's just jump right into it. Like let's go into some of the points. Why does this even matter? Because real quick, because it's easy for someone. We can talk about this. It's easy for someone to be like, I don't need no help or whatever. I got it out the mud. So we can talk about that after. But why is this important?
Well, off the top, like who you spend time with affects your peace, your confidence, your self-talk, your inspiration, your drive, your enthusiasm to tackle adversity. All of these things are affected by who's around you, who is your support system, who are people there that, for lack of better phrasing, cheer you on to go through the adversity that all of us are faced in life. It really matters. From whether it's being inspired or whether it's being influenced, people around you can influence you to do good things, or they can influence you to do bad things. They can influence you to think good things or influence you to think bad things. All of these things ultimately affect your life personally. Sometimes the other person as well, but a lot of times it's just you. So who you have around you, it's a basic concept, right? It's even like, a bunch of people together sitting around thinking good things are probably going to go do some good things. A bunch of people sitting around plotting on some bad things are probably going to go do some bad things. It's like A plus B equals C every time. 1 + 1 = 2 every time. So it's a basic concept. But how it gets deep is, often we're not taught that. Sometimes we just end up with who we end up with, right? With family, you're born into a family. With the friends you have, you get them from your environment and from your interactions. Sometimes you have good ones, sometimes you have bad ones, and we're not actually taught. Not everyone is taught how to differentiate who we should be around and let influence us. So it's important. It's important, and the longer we live, the more we learn these lessons. Life will teach them to you.
Right. I mean, I think it's you said the influence is important. I mean, and we always say cliches are there because they make sense, right? Birds of a feather flock together, right? So, like, you know, who you're listen. my spiritual teacher used to say this all the time, like your association, who you're with, that's gonna make or break us, man. Like it's either gonna uplift you or bring you down. I mean, like really, like and it could be family, it could be friends, it's everybody. And I think one thing I wanted to point out real quick is that we said the importance of having a positive circle, a positive circle support system, not a large one, right? So it it
Yeah.
doesn't need to be, and if anything, it should probably be, for me, it'd probably be small. I mean, but like, doesn't need to be big. It's just the people need to be solid. You know what I'm saying? And we'll get into kind of some of the criteria for friends, but yeah, man. I mean, that influence is crazy, and sometimes um, it's subtle. It's not even like someone's like trying to make you do drugs or something, right? It's sometimes it's just subtle peer pressure. It's, oh, so you're gonna do that? Oh, and then you don't want to be the odd person out or whatever, and like the pack mentality shit. A lot of people get caught up in that. So there's a lot to it to unpack as far as like you know um, the influence of people in our lives. So I mean, first point is, why does your circle matter? Like it's that's a big part of how I think if you hung around like thieves and killers all day, even if you were trying not to like be that, at some point you're gonna be that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
You don't.
um,
I mean, as human beings, we hear everything, right? But you know the difference between right and wrong and all of that, and it's true. But you really only really truly learn by experience, and you experience what's around you. So I mean, like for instance, growing up in Oakland, like I understand that there's people who, when people who don't live in urban situations, are always like, they know the difference between right or wrong. They just choose right. It's really not that simple, because when you grow up, that's just something you hear that's contrary to your actual environment that you're living in every day of your life for years and years and years. So it really just becomes one of those things that you hear on TV, or that you hear other people say that aren't in your situation, because what you're living in every day is, like you said, people you could grow up around thieves, murderers, dope dealers, along with the people you go to church with and the people you play ball with and everything. I mean, I grew up with murderers. I grew up with dope dealers. It's like they're people too, you know what I'm saying? And I know people that got influenced by that route and ended up going that route, as well as knowing people who were around that but had other things blocking them from that influence so they could take other paths. So it's like we learn by the experiences that are before us. And sometimes, it's not as simple as just do what's right. We actually learn from our environment. Those experiences are a lot more potent in our psyche and in our ability to approach situations and take action than just hearing something. Just hearing somebody say some lofty expression doesn't hold the same weight as what your tangible right in front of you experiences are. Yeah, and it's unfortunate, but that's the reality of life.
right,
It's very easy just to say, well, they shouldn't have done that, but it becomes a little bit more tricky when you look into the particulars of their situation and the circumstances that led them to certain people to certain decisions.
right.
And to circle back, it really all comes down to what you're around, who you're around, who are your influences, who is your support system, what did you learn from the people who are raising you, what did you learn from the people you look up to, all of that.
Let's look at some of the positive aspects of a strong support system, and what that looks like. Um, some of the points here. Um, Emotional grounding and accountability. I mean, I think when you have people in your corner, again, not a lot, just the right people who will tell you about yourself because they love you, that is huge. Versus, I mean, there's different ways to tell you about yourself, but like tell you that you're fucking up, tell you that you're doing some dumb shit, tell you that you're hurting yourself. Now, what you do with that information after is up to you. But if you, but to have those people at least that will check you, hey, you're backsliding. Oh, I thought you was trying to, that you was trying to like work out more, like just checking in with you, like, and that and I found I have friends like, you know, if I tell people I want to do something or I'm gonna do something, I check in with them, and you know, as far as like, oh, how you doing with that, like, you know what I mean, and so I think that part for me, the accountability thing stands out really, um, just because it's somebody that will. Oh, because I think I don't know if we did a show on this, but we've talked about it, like the lies we tell ourselves, right? So we tell ourselves anything. So it's important, certainly important to have somebody be like, yo, you full of shit. Like, you know what I mean? I love
Absolutely.
you, but you full of shit.
Yeah, people who keep it a buck with you are invaluable to not only your peace of mind but to your growth and evolution. You know, again, the people around us really have a big influence on setting our trajectory in life. You know, like we were talking about it the other day. Like I've grown up with, first of all, you know, experiences with people shape who you are and who you become, and all of that stuff. I've grown up with like friends and frenemies. You know what I'm saying? And I've learned lessons from both, and there are valuable lessons to be learned from both. And yeah, like who you, and the thing about who you're around is you end up you end up who you're around, right? But it takes wisdom of living for a while to know who you should be still be around and who you shouldn't be around, and how to set up the proper boundaries. And you know, a lot of painful lessons happen along the way, you know, like, and like I said, like I was saying, you know, yeah, I've had real solid, true friends that can help you through hardships, and frenemy type people who kind of play the role of friends but aren't really your friends, and set up the situations that cause the hardship that why you needed the real friend to get you through in the first place, you know.
Right.
And I look at both of these types of friends. Our topic today is support system and circle of friends. I look at both of these types as extremely valuable in my own personal growth. Like
Mm,
I've learned just as much, and they're kind of symbiotic because I needed the real friends once the bad friends did the bullshit, you know. And I needed the bad things to happen with the frenemies for me to learn certain lessons in life moving forward, how to set certain boundaries, uh, how to create, how to constantly keep revisiting what my definition of a friend is, you
right.
know, because as we evolve as people, and we evolve with and around other people, we have to revisit these definitions, because if you don't check in, you might find one day that you guys are not working with the same definition. Like I say, like Jalil said, oh, was it Jalil said, friend, that's what, I don't know, what did he say, a friend, somebody you judge for yourself, you know. How you define it, I can't be much help because a friend's somebody you judge for yourself, you know. And
Right.
kind of gotta tap in and be like, oh, we still thinking the same things, because if not, it will end up showing in a hurtful way down the line. And I only say that to say that your circle of friends and your support structure is important with, no matter which side of this they land on in your life.
Yeah. Yeah. One thing I want to look at here is as far as positive stuff with the circle of friends. Affirmation says true friends remind you of your worth when you forget. This is important to me, man, because like I've said this a lot. And I've said it in particular about relationships, like significant others, but it applies to friends. But to me, it really applies with like relationships. But I always say, surround yourself with people, or be with a significant other who believes in you more than you believe in yourself. Like, yo, so my wife thinks, if you ask my wife, she would they make it seem like I was 6'6", 260 pounds of solid muscle, like with a full head of hair and like you know $50 billion in the bank account and never forgot it. Like I'm perfect. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm not perfect, but it's if you get my point. It's like I tell her an idea or or I've told some of my close friends an idea. Yo, do that, fam. Do that. You got this shit. You know what I'm saying? Knock it out. Like I can tell her right now, go in the room and wake her up and be like, yo, I think I'm about to learn how to fly an airplane. I really want to learn. All right, well, you got it. Like, word. And that, to me, that is invaluable. And not, again, not co-signing bullshit, but like somebody that encourages you to live your dreams and friends too, you know, that live your dreams. Like, keep pressing on. And it says, remind you of value, your worth, even when you forget. Like, that's critical, man. You know, to me, it is because, like, for some reason, you know, for a lot of reasons, you know, sometimes we're not, you know, we may be in a place where we don't maybe feel the greatest about ourselves or whatever. And like, when someone's like, nah, man, you crushed that. You got this. Like, let's go. Like, that to me is really huge.
100%, 100%. And I echo the same sentiments with my wifey. You know, it's like just always super supportive, and it makes a world of difference. Because I've been in relationships. I'm however old I am. You know, I've been in different relationships. I've been in not horrible relationships where the person wasn't necessarily supportive. You know what I'm saying? Like we got along cool, and you know we had a time forever whatever time we had, but they weren't supportive, and I didn't really, you know, I had to. You have to experience support to realize when you didn't have it. You know, and that's why like very much like you're saying, that's why one will be so have so much gratitude when they actually do have it. The people who have gratitude for things have a full memory of not having that. You know,
Right.
that's where gratitude stems from. Like people who have starved uh, hold food in high regard and are grateful for any kind of food they have, no matter how much they have now. It's like, you know, people who've been broke as hell, like are like, yo, I'm so glad I'm not broke anymore. I never want to be broke again. People who haven't never had support before and all of a sudden meet somebody who supports them and for who they are, you just kind of like, you're like, thank you, you know, thank you. I'm down for you because of that. And it makes it makes a world of difference. Now, like I've always felt like I've been a person moving forward, even with ups and downs in life. I've always like got my foot on the gas, moving forward, trying to do some new things, trying to accomplish something, like, you know, got some kind of goal or whatever. But when I look at certain relationships in the past that weren't very supporting, I was doing less because of that. And I'm not saying it's anybody's fault, but when the support is different, I had less output. This is something I noticed in hindsight because in a situation where I have as much support as I have, for instance, now, like I'm just doing everything. Like I have all the more bandwidth, more drive, more ideas, more imaginative, more endurance. Like it's something about someone else really holding you down and having your back that just brings out the best in a person. And so
Right.
again, back to our topic, your support structure, your circle of friends, the people who really got you, they really can determine the whole trajectory of your life and the momentum as well. And again, it comes back to this. Like I grew up in Oakland. I have a whole split of how people turned out. There's a whole dead in jail section over here, and there's a whole like successful career, family degree section over here. There's a little bit of gray area sometimes, but like it's largely due to the influences in people's lives on at earlier ages. Like the people I know who had horrible support when they were young are in bad situations if they're even still with us. The people I know who had the most support are doing the best, and I don't even necessarily mean monetarily or job wise or accomplishments. Like people in their own brain. I know people who didn't have much support when they were young, and they're screwed up in the head right now. They're weird. You know what I'm saying? Like they look at the world differently than. And I'm not judging. I'm just saying, per my perspective, they be on some weird shit because the support was different, and now they on like everything's on I'm on my own, fending for myself. Everything's a battle, like, you know, and it's to whereas people who were nurtured more when they were younger are like more like, hey, we could do this. You need some help? I got you. You know, and it all stems to like not just to, of course we're at where we're at now, so we're talking about our support levels now and our circle of friends in the present. But I mean, a lot of people get like dealt a bad hand early, you know, and got to pick up the pieces, and it all stems back to who was their support system, who were their circle of friends. I mean, I have countless people who jailhouse friends led them straight to jail, you know, like, and it's a common cycle in modern society in our community as well, you know. It's like
Right.
who we look up, we tend to emulate who we look up to, and if we're looking up to people who are going to have you in a bad situation, you might end up, it's not far-fetched that you'll end up in one yourself, and
Right.
it's unfortunate.
Yep. No, that's facts, and especially the nurturing and support as a youngin. I mean, that's important. I mean, it's you're not really selecting your circle at that time, so you're kind of rolling the dice, and whoever's taking care of you is responsible. But that still is impactful though, because like because again, we talk about like the affirmation and accountability and stuff. Like someone's telling you you ain't shit, you ain't gonna never do nothing. Someone's telling you you can do anything. You know what I'm saying? It's you hear some certain message. So that was huge as far as just being a youngster. Uh, One thing I wanted to get into, one of those other points here is safety. In terms of just being honest about struggles without fear of being judged or exposed. I think that's big too, especially for men. Being able to share real shit with a brother.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? And feeling like you can share that and get it out, not be judged, and probably if anything, someone can probably relate or share some empathy or sympathy. But that's to me that's big because um, it allows you to take the mask off, or for men who typically have that up anyway a lot, like just be like, yo, fam, I'm fucked up today, b. Like, you know what I mean? Shit, kids, this, that, third, whatever. I think that's really, really important, and this is one of the reasons why you stick around. One of the reasons why we're doing what we're going to be doing starting in January. A little tidbit there, because of that type of thing, like being able to
Yeah,
get some shit out and just sometimes just get it out, without
yeah,
oh
yeah.
fuck, somebody coming
I
out your
mean,
neck, you know.
this goes back into something that we've talked about plenty of times on this show, and kind of like the jump off for even having this topic for this show is that the stigma in our community of, oh man, you don't be emotional, or you just tuck that in, just hide your emotions, and you soft if you feel anything, because the world is rough and all of that, and and without all the rest of the stuff that should go with that. Like, maybe when you're posturing in dangerous and treacherous situations, you might need to, like, be certain ways, but to always be that way and to literally think that having feelings is a weakness, that's what it sets people in a direction where they have so many problems, like feeling like you can't talk to anybody, feeling like having any emotions at all is soft, thinking people are going to look at me a certain way if I show any kind of emotion or feeling about anything. It just, I mean, and then people figure out way later in life that was all kind of bad information, and only counts for, it wasn't really explained clearly that maybe that's for very particular situations when you have to be a way to protect yourself in certain environments, not as a way to live all your life. And people be sad and confused and depressed when they and bewildered when they figured, if they live long enough, when they figure it out later in life, that was just some bad information by somebody who had passed on some bad information that they got from whoever raised them. And so that, like you said, that safety to be able to express, and also that safety to be able to hear and listen and be empathetic to other people. That's a back and forth situation. Like when you can be heard and hear as well, it creates a level of confidence that's not innate. It's not innate in the when you're thinking about the process itself. It's like after the fact you realize it's character building and it builds strength. And actually people who can express themselves and can get in touch with their emotions are far stronger people than people who pretend they don't have any.
Right.
And people who pretend they don't have any feelings are actually emotionally frail most of the time, super fragile, and heavily dependent on the ego and the perception of others to define how they feel about themselves. And that's like that's actually not strong. That's actually a weakness. You
Right.
know, and so yeah, a circle of friends provides a level of safety, like you said, where you can be honest about your struggles without fear of being judged.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that as much as soft as that sounds, like around the ultra ego macho lingo, it's actually a strength. It breeds strength, and people who have that tend to end up being stronger people and have more control over their life and over their emotions, and in turn their life
Right.
as a whole.
Yep. Yep.
And
No.
again, I always do this, bro. I always do this. In my opinion, I don't. This is just what I think. This is not me saying like you're wrong if you don't think this. This is what I think, what I've gathered based off of my 51 years on this beautiful planet. I know you be like, man, you with these disclaimers, but that's one of my hangups. There, I said it.
All right. Well, the routine A-plus disclaimer. Which is
I've been doing pretty good, man. I've been doing pretty good.
Yeah, you didn't do one last time. You didn't do
I,
one
I
last time,
didn't.
but
I didn't. I'm
I,
getting better, man. I'm a work in progress, my
I
friend.
hear you. We all are, man. I think that's what we need to recognize. Let's look at some
Moving
of the
on.
negatives. Huh?
Oh, I just wanted to say this last one. Balance. Having a positive circle of friends and a healthy support structure can create balance in one's life. It helps you stay out of extremes. You can view many different perspectives and sides of a situation objectively without having to identify all the way with one side all the time or another side all the time. And you're not too hard on yourself. You're more relaxed on your own self, because we will succeed sometimes and we will fail sometimes. Both of these have lessons in them. Success has huge lessons in them, but I think even bigger lessons in failure and how it's dealt with. So yeah, balance. When you're only in your own head all the time and you think you have all the answers, just you can't, like, you're gonna be more wrong than most people on many things. And I've lived long enough to determine that is a fact.
Yeah.
If you are your own soundboard, the mind is crazy. If you ruminate or just only bounce things around your brain and not outside in the world and develop all of your ideological concepts and your opinions and all of these things based off of what's going on in your brain, you're going to be wrong a lot. Like, we learn from bouncing things off each other. Like, our brains are powerful, and if we let it go down a rabbit hole or a tangent, it will start making up all kinds of things and telling you this is exactly what it is. And having people around you to be a soundboard and balance out whatever kind of thoughts may be bouncing around in our head on any given subject at any given time, what we think we know. It reminds me of this social media world where people will get like a 15-second bleep of a topic on something that somebody put on in a post, and they'll start quoting that 15 seconds like they're an authority on that topic, right? Whereas to be a real authority on the topic, it takes time, research, critical thinking, understanding, contrasting ideas on the topic, listening to people who by experience know more about that than you do or than I do. We live in a world where people become instant authority on things just by one piece of information, and whatever their brain says about receiving it. Yeah, I know all of that now, so I'm going to run around and talk about that as if I know it. And that's never been the case in the world of information. It takes studying, it takes taking concepts into the real world and seeing how they work. It takes bouncing information off of other people, hence circle of influence, circle of friends. Like, you ever notice, like, it's a healthy thing for somebody to have something on their mind and holler at their closest friends about it, if they have that, right? And bounce it around. It's way less healthy to be stressed out about something and only have it in your mind and never talk about any of it to anybody, and then bust some moves based off of what you think. That's like the worst kind of decision making in the world. Like, take it out of the emotional context. You try to do that in the corporate world, you're gonna mess up and get fired. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna immediately screw up, be wrong, and get fired. But people think they can do that in the emotional world, and because you don't get fired, you just have a bad idea in your head that you didn't check with nobody, that everything is still going smooth. 10, 20, 30 years later, you'll be a person full of bad ideas thinking you know everything,
Right.
But anyway, balance.
No, that's key. That's always key. So let's look at the negatives, and we kind of talked about a little bit some of the negatives, but some
bad.
specific.
I jumped across the pond on that one.
That's all right. It's all right. We bounce around. So some specifics though. We had talked about the doubt in terms of it kind of came up. So I mean, obviously, there's a positive and negative aspect to these things. Typically the opposite. Like, and I mean, since we already talked about it, I mean, yeah, the fake friends make you doubt yourself, gaslighting, competition, and that is we're gonna get into we'll have some time to make sure we get the definition of what we consider true friends. But like, yeah, fake friends, and they'll doubt what you're doing. You'll second guess yourself a lot, right? And not have, just like how good friends can up your confidence and help you with that. Other fake friends or toxic people or shitty circle bring that shit down, because a lot of those people typically are down about themselves, so they don't want to fucking see you up. I mean, because that means mirror again. It's on them. Spotlights on them. So that was one that
they celebrate with you, like they celebrate some good thing with you, like, huh, word, all right.
Yep.
That's they celebrate when you do something incredible.
Oh, you got your little job now, huh? You got your little,
I see you.
Yeah.
I see you. All right.
Yeah. And those people are shit burgers. I mean, straight up, man. Like, that's what they are.
Yeah, that's what we were kind of touching on early. It's like, it really is. So like relationships like that may start wholesome, like maybe like, someone sees characteristics in someone that they chime with and they admire, and they're cool with those characteristics. But then after time, it becomes, like you said, a mirror, when that person starts to remind them of characteristics they don't have. You know what I'm saying? And and it turns into like a mirror type thing. It starts with envy, then turns to jealousy, and you don't want to be around people who. It's okay for people to feel that way about you. It's okay for people to feel that way about anybody. People can do whatever they feel because it's their life and it's their will to do it. It's incumbent upon self whether you want to be around, whether you should be around people who feel that way. And the trick is people hide that they feel that way, and kind of present it. Some people, I'm not saying everyone, but there are certain people who will hide the negative feelings and whatever envy and jealousy about you through niceties and little veiled light kind of fake compliments veiled in kind of salt you know, and it's all under the guise of like poking fun as friends, but it really is like it's really something else. And you know, everybody has been through that. You know, it's a common human experience, right? But it's hard to gauge because a straight up enemy, they let you know. You know, they're like, I don't like you, and I respect that. But somebody who is like, I love you, I don't like him. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a little different. You know, and unless you, it kind of like for me personally, it took life to determine to navigate that. Like you know, there's not a I wasn't born hardwired on how to deal with that. I'm just looking at that's my friend, you know, like you know, and it's kind of weird until you like you said earlier, like the self doubt, like you know, there's been times I've been thinking like, nah, that's just something they got going on. That ain't about me. You know what I'm saying? That's just you know. But then if you leave yourself in that environment, it becomes about you. Like you kind of who it turns into being about. It really is their own issue, but it ends up being about you because you're present for that deflection or projection to be directed at you. And that's why it's very bad to have bad people in your circle, people who don't love you, people who don't care about you how you think they do. You know, that and this is a topic that we've had on the show before too. It's like the wisdom that comes with experience on how to set boundaries. You know, we're not born with that. We learn that through experience and learning to set certain boundaries with friends, people who were once friends, people who you have to be around at work, people like all kinds of these different boundaries we could set. We learn how to do that through experience and often, you know, taking a little pain on the way, you know.
One point that sticks out here for me is enablers, and so we talked about people influencing you, you know, like really shitting on you and making you do, you know, or influencing your how you think and whatever. But this is another way where it comes across fucked up when people are enabling you to continue fucking up and doing stupid shit and dumb shit for a number of reasons. One, because they want to see you fail, or two, because they're fucked up themselves. I mean, there's lots of reasons why, but you know, but that I mean, again, it's the opposite of the people who will check you. You know what I'm saying? Like we talked about. So people, your friends, your friend will tell you. It's like you got a booger in your nose and your man ain't telling you, and you going out and you talking to some shorties. That ain't no real friend. I mean, that's a silly example, but
it's a
it's
great
the same
example.
type. You walk out, you think you fresh, you got toilet tissue on your shoe and shit on the bottom of your Timbs. You like, I'm fresh. Yo,
Yeah.
son, nobody nigga ain't tell you. But see, conversely, somebody instead of not tell you, they secretly fucking with you. You know what I mean? They're laughing at you.
Yeah.
And that's supposed to be your peoples. I mean, it's a crude example, but like
It's
sometimes crude examples
very
work.
fitting,
You
I
know?
think. I think
So
it's a very tangible example. Everybody's been that dude. Like I've been like kicking it all day with a motherfucker, and as soon as I go somewhere where I can look at myself, I'm like, oh, bro, how long have I had that booger? You know what I'm saying? How long have I had that food in my beard, bro? You ain't say
right.
nothing. How long have I had that oregano in my teeth, bro? Like serious? Like, and you
Yep.
know, it's
Yep.
somebody whoever has been in your face and didn't say anything was like, whatever kind of glee they get from that is something I've never understood because I've never been that kind of person. I'd be like, yo, bro, you know, you got some food. You know what I'm saying? I'm in bad. Like, I feel bad experiencing it with you. I'm like, no, we can't do that. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So I don't really understand. I've never understood the hater glee that comes with just letting you hanging your homeboy out to dry or your homegirl out to dry. I just that's a I'm thankful that I don't really get that. I'm also grateful that I understand that it exists and it's a real thing. Um, you know, it's something you live and learn. It's one of those things you learn as you go through life, right? So I'm grateful to have learned the lesson, but I am also grateful that it's still mad intriguing to me, the whole thought process behind being a hater and being an envious person. You know,
Right,
it's
right.
I think it's forever going to be intriguing to me. I kind of understand why it's there, and I do respect everybody's individual spirit and the right to be here and all of that. So yeah, I'm not a hateful person, and I do my best to make sure I don't harbor those kind of feelings. But that said, I do not understand the processes of the hater or the jealous person or the envious person. It's like
Yeah,
people I don't like, I just don't be around. I'm just like, I don't even want to stay around and be negative with them. I just would rather just be in separate places, doing
yeah,
what the different things that we do.
but that means you gotta like. Here's the thing: you gotta like if you do that and you remove yourself from that situation, if you're not rocking with somebody, that shows in integrity and like character, because the person who sticks around, I just did a video on this. The person who sticks around is so fucking miserable that they would rather like some people. Yo, some people. I realize it, some people like will hate your fucking guts and keep you around as a friend to just internally boil about you, like just fucking, and then any chance they get, it's a little zinger, some little subtle shade, man. You know what I'm saying? And those
That's
people,
wild.
but those people, unfortunately, are lacking so much within themselves, man, that they can't even pick themselves up and do for self. They would rather, I mean, you know how sad it is for you not to do for self, but you'd rather bring somebody down that's supposed to be your friend because you're too much of a fucking waste or whatever to get your shit together. Like that's crazy. Like
That's wild.
I'd rather keep you around and call you my friend, but I hate your fucking guts. That's a lot of work too. That's a lot of work.
That's a whole lot of work, and it's like it's neglect of self too. It's like
I can't call it.
it's
Let's
again. When I said I wasn't even trying to criticize, I just literally don't understand. Like I'm not
I
even
don't
being like,
criticize.
I mean, I feel the same way as
I
you.
mean,
I feel the same way as you, bro.
I know you're just
I'll
nicer.
admit it.
You
I'll
just say it
admit
a
it.
little differently. It's all
Yeah,
right. I'll criticize because that's some fuck shit. I mean, it is. I mean, and that's what that is. I mean, some shit is. I mean,
man. Agreed, man. Yeah.
but
So,
let's look at
another
what
thing.
true friends are because we only got
Oh,
15
I
or
was gonna say,
20 minutes.
yeah, we're getting close. I wanted to say this one thing. Um, Enablers that keep you in bad habits, because like the saying, misery loves company, and like any bad habits I had, like I used to drink a lot, right? And
Right.
I would drink with people who drank a lot, and even I dabbled with drugs so I could drink more and all that kind of shit, right? And I remember I had this one friend I used to make music with, and I used to be like, there would be times where I would be like, we can't do this no more, bro. Like this, we can't do this no more. And it'll be like straight blank and ignore from them, and then kind of like a standoffish energy and around that topic and stuff. And this is something I reflected on later in life. I didn't at the time. I was just like, I was saying it because I felt like it needed to be said, and I really felt that, like, bro, this ain't it. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what's the word? non Not sustainable.
Mm.
This is non-sustainable. This doesn't lead it to a good place. And in hindsight, when I look at it, and now like the person that I'm thinking of this memories of now, like I haven't messed with them in years and years and years and years and years. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and shit when it's going exactly according to how I thought at the time, like about 10 years ago. You know what I mean? And so, not to criticize anybody, but to the point, enablers keep you in bad habits. Like misery loves company. If you doing bad, um, a bad friend will will enable you doing bad and make it a celebration. Like, ain't nothing wrong with continuing to make your situation worse. And it's not even necessarily always malicious. Like a lot of times it's like they just in a bad situation just like
Right.
you, but that doesn't change the fact that they're not a good friend. You know what I'm saying? Or they're not a good person for your circle of support. I'm not saying they're necessarily like how we were talking about the frenemy earlier. Like it might just be a person in a like. There's people that in my life that I have to love from a distance because it's bad to be around them. It's not that I hate them. It's not that they hate me. It's just that it's just not. It doesn't align with my personal goals to be around people doing certain activities, right? And so yeah, I was just bringing up the point that enablers keep you in bad habits, and they could block your healing and block your recovery.
Well, that's a good segue into what real friends are, right?
What we
And
got? What we got?
our definition of what we view friends as. And it changes over the years, from elementary school to middle school to high school, and it realized a lot of people that I was friends with in high school. I don't fuck with nobody from high school, hardly anybody. Maybe like one or two people. Like so, I mean, you start looking at what those definitions are, right? And again, just because somebody, this is about protecting the fucking shit here, right? So you saying somebody's not a good friend for me, that's all that means. They're not good for my own health and growth or whatever. They can do whatever they need to do. They're not good for my shit, so I got to make some adjustments. You can be whatever, like you know what I'm saying. But for me, this is what I need. You know what I'm saying? And so as had true friends. I'm gonna look at this one here. They don't make you shrink yourself to keep them comfortable. You know what I mean? The true friends they're comfortable in their own skin. I mean, they you know what I mean? Like you'll see again. It's all about it's a subtle shit, right? Like you tell somebody some good news. I just saw a meme on this. So like a hater. It was a guy who was like somebody tell you some good news. You tell them good news, and then they're like, oh. All right. But then you tell them like you tell them you hit the lotto or something. Oh, all right, or whatever. And then you tell them, oh, but the kick, I took the ticket there and it was too late to cash it or something. They're like, oh, word. They're happy.
You thought you was rich, huh?
Right.
Damn,
And then
sorry,
it's like,
blood.
but then you get the good news again or something or whatever, and it was like a flip flop back and forth. They're like, oh, okay, like you know what I'm saying. And so that's really. Good friends are uplifting you, man. And I always say that, like, that's why I don't have a lot. A lot of people aren't. I mean, I don't feel like most people are trying. Everyone's in it for themselves. I mean, and so when you get people that really care about you and your well being, they stick out. To me, they stick out because
100%.
they're not everywhere. You know what I mean?
100%. 100%. And it's a trip how like people who don't feel that way about you don't know that they stick out as much as the good person does. They don't understand. They don't have that self-awareness to know that like that those lower vibes stick out like a sore thumb. Like I'm the same way, man. It's like, and it's not even a bad thing. It's just a reality thing. Like for me, and this is what I meant about being on the same page with people when you throw the definition of friend around. Like you got to make sure that you're on the same page with people if you both are using that word about each other, because some people might have a whole different definition of what it is. Like for me, if we're not sharing, like if you don't feel comfortable sharing your highs and lows with me and hearing my highs and lows and being like congratulatory for my highs and supportive for my lows about the deep things that we don't tell the whole world about, then we're not really friends. We're something else to me. We're like, that doesn't mean we have a bad relationship, but to keep throwing the word friend around, like, and we don't do those things, like that's not a friendship per my current definition. You know what I mean? Like if here in the comments in the chat, somebody said a good friend is someone who wants you to shine, right? Someone who wants you to shine. Also can be as empathetic of your pain during your downtimes, and that's an obvious thing. You can tell when somebody cares about how you are when you low. This is another thing too. It's like people who call themselves your friend, but don't care about your lows, don't understand that you have a contrast. There are other people who had shown what a care feels like, and it's different than that. So again, it's like a mix up on definitions. Like people have different definitions of what it is. It's just it's really important that that it's incumbent upon ourselves that we're straight about what the definition is to us and with the people that we call friends. If I can't talk to you about nothing deep that's really centered to my heart and my existence, something I'm going through, are we friends?
Right. Right.
You know, like, and this ain't like there's people that'll be like that you might not be there for like that, and they're not there for you like that. But if you say that, are we friends? They might be like, oh, then, you know what I'm saying? We ain't friends. I'm like, but are we? You know what I'm saying? Like, and just that reaction itself, that like, it's nothing wrong with being real about interaction, right? But that word, it's like, it's a lot of dark stuff comes with the misuse of the word friend, you know, and that's why it's super important to know what to have one's own personal definition of what that is, and be able to live by that and judge accordingly.
Yeah, I mean, I think it needs to look, man. For me, it's like about having like a set of values across the board, and with people, external things. Do they do the people in my life fit within those set of values? And like, and it's like you said. So I might have a specific set of criteria for what a friend is, and it has to fit. Like I pride myself in saying, not pride myself, but I'm happy to say that for like maybe the past 10 years, 10 years, I don't have anybody in my life that I don't want to be there. Nobody. There's nobody in my life. There's people I have to deal with at work, but even then, my interactions are limited. I put boundaries in place. So I may only email certain people. I don't have anyone in my day to day life that I don't want there, that is bringing me down, that is like, cause I don't have time for that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have time, and I think, and it says right here, support therapy, growth, and healing. A good friend, not just good vibes. Yeah. And this is what There's a difference between like high school party friends, college party friends, or whatever, and like real motherfuckers. Like, and all you got to do is be down and out. That's the litmus test, and you'll see quickly who is there for you.
Yeah,
you'll see who's there.
There's a lot of times where like you don't know who's not really your friend until, like, just for an analogy, you getting jumped and people run. Like, and I'm not saying literally. I'm just saying when somebody's supposed to have your back and you always think they would, and then when the thing goes down, they run or they ain't there, and they got every reason to not have your back at that moment. And then how, and even furthermore, might feel a way about you feeling away for that. You know what I mean? Like, that's wild. You know what I'm saying? But it takes those kind of experiences for us to figure it out. Somebody said, somebody in the chat was like, a good friend is someone who's there no matter what. When you're winning, I'm winning. When you lose, I lose. There's something wrong with you, and there's something wrong with me. Unconditional-ish. Simple, right?
Yeah, that's why that ain't those case, people are rare. That's why those people are rare.
Like you said earlier, like those people are rare. They stand out, and they in turn make anybody who's not like that stand out. And I feel the same way about you. Like, at this point in my life, I literally don't have anyone in my life who is not good for me, who I don't want there. Like you said, there's work and there's like work relationships, and like I whistle at work. I love my job. And it's all good. And I'm I have a positive workplace for the most part too. In my day-to-day life, just like you said, bro, it's like it took a long time. I've had mad friends that weren't cool. You know what I'm saying? To have around in my life like that, and it's ultimately I had to take accountability for that. I don't blame that on anybody else. I had to like figure out, like, nobody can impose themselves on you. You have to let them in. and that's why it's a personal responsibility to dictate your boundaries and control your zones. That goes directly into the whole topic of today. Your support center and your circle of friends. You know.
Yo, so it's 8:57
All right.
or 6. I'm just curious how you want to do this. I feel like so. I mean, we usually have an hour. We go sometimes, but I mean, I want to get to our announcement, but I don't. I feel like we may want to continue picking this up at the next show if you're down, or keep plowing through
I'm
this.
down.
Because I
No,
just feel
I'm
like
down. I'm down.
there's a
I'm down with picking
lot to
this up.
touch here. Yeah. There's a
Yeah,
lot to
no, I'm
touch.
100% down with running with like doing with there is more. This is a heavy topic, and it encompasses so much of life.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So let's
So
stay.
and
Let's
this
stay
is
here.
not the first time we've done this. So
Yeah.
you were saying?
So let's stay here next time and do this then. Um, there's a big delay with your shit. Hold on, bro. I can't hear you, family.
Me?
Yeah, went out.
Oh,
There we go.
hold
Okay.
on.
No, there's just
Am I back?
there's a delay, but we're good though. I can hear you. So let's yeah. So we're gonna pick back up on this section here. The next show we have true friends, what they are, what they're not, and really building that circle because it goes into like we talked about numerous times cutting people out. You can't hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, I just saw it's a delay with your video though, but it's cool. Um, Cutting people out, um, all types of different shit. So, um, what up? What up? Go out and come back in. Hey, you. The hell? Yo, hey. What up? What up? Yo. Can't hear you.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Sorry about that, bro. My microphone
Yeah.
ran out of energy.
Oh, okay. That's what was going on. Something weird. It's all good. So
My
I was saying,
bad,
we'll continue this segment as far as this part here. True friends, what they are, what they're not, building that circle. Because as I said, I was saying when I got cut off, I was saying like it just involves a lot, right? Like shedding people and getting rid of people. That can be hard. There's guilt tripping that goes on when you're trying to make changes in your life and people. So there's a lot of stuff to unpack here. So we'll pick this back up next month, right?
Yes, sir.
So everybody here, listen, thank you for joining us. We have a pretty cool announcement that we think is cool.
Yeah.
We're gonna. So I don't know how this came up. This came up in a show one time, I think. Like this show. This came up in a talk. And my wife's like, "You guys should do a show on mental health." So we are. A and I decided to start a discussion group for men only, unfortunately, or fortunately, depends on how you look at it. But just men's group to discuss topics that we really don't talk about and share in a safe, chill setting. The group is called, or it's going to be called Real Talk Sessions. It's going to be a monthly, and it's going to be limited to about 10 to 12 people. We'll keep it small at first, and it's for men to come in and chop it up and talk. We'll have some structured discussions and topics and things like that, but we'll have time to just share and talk about things: stress, anger, finances, health, or just and things again that men typically don't really get to share about. So if you what you want to add on there. But we're
Yeah,
starting to see.
it's
Yeah.
gonna be dope. It's gonna be it's not gonna be broadcast. It's not gonna be live. It's not gonna be re-recorded and streamed. It's literally a private place where brothers can talk, where men can talk about things, and with the it's it's a place where we're going in there with intention. The intention is you could talk about things. It's like it's basically inspired by, you know, when you see for instance, for one example, anybody who's ever watched the movie, the TV show The Shy, they have a men's group where everybody connect, like the older dudes and the younger dudes, and they all in the community, they all get together and they sit around, and whoever smokes cigars, whoever drinks wine, whoever smokes blunts, and they sit around and they talk about their lives and the things in their lives that you know that weigh on them, whether they're positive things, whether they're points of adversity and points of contention, relationship stuff, job stuff, you know, work, finances, state of society, politics. I mean, people talk like whatever it may be that is that any particular participant feels like they want to talk about and say it in front of people who are there to listen and there to give sound advice based off of their own experiences, and to be a soundboard to hear each other's you, adversities and just life issues in general. It doesn't, and it's not necessarily like a crisis center or like a place specifically for trauma. Yes, people could talk about serious things that bother them, but it's also a place to share your dreams, your aspirations, things that you're working on. You know, the concept is men should have solidarity in places to talk about these things, um, particularly men of our culture and you know minorities. But it's not limited to that. You know, everybody's welcome. All men of all shades and colors are all welcome. But it like just it goes into like the topic of our show today: circle of friends, support system, support structure, and we're looking forward to having this environment where we've never done anything like this, and we're just coming off the hip with it. Like you said, we're starting small. We're gonna have like 10 people besides us at first, and see if we can handle that, and see what kind of paradigm we could set up that runs smoothly. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, brother. Again, this is like you said, it's something that came up organically out of us having the show. And again, like you said, this show came up organically from us just having a stream on your hip hop station. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, bro. I think anybody out there who may want to participate, shoot me a DM on my IG, or shoot Tamal a DM on his IG, and you know it's going to be first come first serve. So, and we only have space for 10 people because we don't really know how it's going to work just yet. We know what we have in mind, but you know we have to have a test case. So yeah, looking forward. If it piques the interest to anybody out there, it's just going to be just real talk. Like the name of the thing is called Real Talk Sessions. And there's going to be some guidelines and some rules, but it's all basically to protect the respect and the privacy of everybody in participating, and of the overall endeavor itself.
Right. And
My
so
brother.
yeah, so like couple quick points for people here. Like so we'll have kind of have a topic, and we'll speak in orderly fashion on the topic. People will be able to share, and then we'll kind of have like an open share after that. After that, it'll be about an hour and a half meeting. We'll do it through Google Meet. I'll send out a link. So like maybe a few days before the meeting, we'll make an announcement. A+ will make an announcement. I'll make an announcement, and 5 people hit up A+, 5 people hit up me, and those are the 10 in the meeting for that month. It's only once a month. We want to make sure it's sustainable. We can do it. Yeah, like A said, there'll be some guidelines and things like that. You know, got to have your cameras on. You know, got to be in a private place because people really sharing private things. So there's some guidelines. That we're going to make sure it's a structured conversation and a structured build and stuff. And you know, the idea is growth and support for men, and so you know, confidentiality sacred. Like there's no breaking the confidence, not recording stuff. If you're, you know, if your kids are in the background or your wife's in the background, you got to get off. Like, you know what I mean? So we'll touch on these things, but we're excited about it. Think it'll be good. Think some good things will come out of it, and we're super happy. Yeah, Real Talk Sessions begins January. We haven't finalized the day and time yet, but we will. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I think it's good.
Likewise, my brother. I'm really juiced about this. Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to it, bro. And yeah, I'm 100% optimistic about it. I'm excited about just what is, how it's gonna go, what kind of adversity we may face, and trying to keep it all together. Like, I'm looking forward to hearing the rest of the brothers, whatever, and coming in with their own, you know, their own input. And I'm really looking forward to it, bro. I like what we've been able to do with this show so far, and the positive impact it's had on whoever it has impacted, and that's meant the world to me. In already, just for the show that we do, Talking Crazy, and I think this is just a progression, in the same ripple in the pond effect, man. We're just trying to do good things, man, and be a service in a positive way, and widen the web, bro. So yeah,
Yeah,
bless.
I mean it's huge, you know, especially for men. We don't really have that outlet, and we're gonna keep it real. I mean, and that's not like we're gonna be all different or anything, but we're gonna keep it real. You know what I'm saying? So, um, you know, and it's just gonna be, you know, real talk sessions. So we're excited about it. We'll talk about it. You're gonna hear more about it. We gotta get ready to get out of here. I got a show at 10 o'clock. But we're gonna pick back up this topic next month.
Yeah,
Or our next show. I think it's important. We're going to pick that up, and because it's just so much to unpack here. But everybody, all of our prior shows are on the Carrying the Culture YouTube channel. All 23 prior episodes, and this one will be up there, so you can check out every single episode that we've ever done. And we salute everybody that was in the chat contributing. We appreciate y'all. But yo, I appreciate you, man. It was good shit.
appreciate you too, my brother, man. And once again, great night, great build, bro. And we shall continue.
We shall continue. If I don't talk to you, so you're going on the road soon, right?
Yeah, about to hit the road, man. But I already know we'll talk, but I already know the window when I'm home for next month, because I'll be on the road for like the end of this month and a big chunk of next month. But there is a time right in the middle of the month where I have some days off and I know I'll be home. So next time I talk to you, I'm gonna be like, bro, what day are you good in this window, so we could do episode 25, bro, and keep it pushing.
Okay. Got it. Well, you be safe on the road and keep doing your thing. And it's been a pleasure as always, family.
Thank you, bro. Bless up to the family, and we shall continue, my good brother.
Yes, sir. Take care. We'll talk soon. All right.
Peace.
Peace.